So, you've decided that you wanted to get started on YouTube. The question is, what do you need to get started on YouTube? Come here, I'll let you in a little secret. That's the only thing you really need. The truth of the matter is that the only thing you actually need is a smartphone. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Just kidding. I do believe that you can get started with just a smartphone, but depending on your budget, you might have some other options. I'm going to start this video by showing you the gear that I currently use, but make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to do a comparison test to hopefully shed some light on what gear is right for you. This is the Canon Rebel T4i. It's my main rig, I'm using it right now, and I use it for the majority of my filming and photography. This model is about 7 years old, but it still has a lot of great features such as a touchscreen that flips out and the ability to manually tune a lot of your shot settings. Also, and this will go for pretty much any DSLR, but the ability to switch out your lenses gives you a ton of versatility. Putting a different lens on this camera essentially transforms it, and it gives me a lot of different options for the types of shots I want to take. Naturally, you need something to put your camera on, and that's where the GorillaPod comes in. You may have heard of these. They're popular with vloggers because you can put them down anywhere or you can pick them up and use them handheld, but for me the main appeal is its size. As a college student, I don't really want to lug around a full-size tripod, but the ability to just toss this in my backpack makes it super useful. As far as making videos goes, my microphone is definitely one of the most vital parts of my arsenal. Now, my DSLR does have a built-in microphone, but between the static and the background noise, I decided it was time to make the switch. And it was so worth it. Later in the video I'll do some audio and visual comparisons, but this microphone is definitely the crispiest. Also, before I move on, let me clarify. This is the microphone with its default cover, and this is the microphone with a dead cat. Yes, a dead cat. The dead cat is really just to help with drafts and wind noise that might get picked up by the microphone, but if you're going to be shooting outside, having a dead cat is an absolute must. This is the drone I use. It's called the DJI Mavic Mini. It's super light. I think it's only 249 grams, and as a result, it's super portable, and that's what I use to get all my aerial shots. While a drone is definitely not a necessity, I've loved having one. If you're interested in seeing the drone in action, I'll make sure to leave some links down in the description. This is my supplementary light. As you can see, it definitely makes a difference. This definitely can come in super handy when you're in a lighting pinch, and it can serve as either warm light or cool light. For how inexpensive it was, I definitely recommend that everyone get an external light, like this one. These are my two lenses. The first one is an 18 by 55mm, and the other one is 50mm, better known as the Nifty 50. I'm currently shooting this on my 18 to 55, or else we would be uncomfortably close. Since this camera has a cropped sensor at a 1.6 ratio, basically that means that we have to multiply everything by 1.6. As a result, that 50mm lens is really an 80mm lens. I primarily use the 50mm for low light photography. Since it has such a fast aperture, it's really useful for shooting at nighttime or shooting indoors. Before we get into the comparison, the final thing is actually something you've been seeing in every shot, which is the folding studio. Obviously this one is quite small, but the fact that it has so many different backdrops and that you can fold it into a thin square make it really useful. Depending on what you're shooting, a bigger one would probably be better, but these are really inexpensive and they're pretty nice to have. This comparison is going to be between an iPhone 5S, an iPhone 6S, my current phone, which is an iPhone 11 Pro, and the camera you're seeing right now, which is the Canon Rebel T4i. I'll show you what it's like with and without the mic, just to give you an idea of whether you might want a microphone. Alright, we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Some things to watch for as we do this are the lighting, the definition in the shots, and the amount of background noise and static that you're picking up in the audio. Depending on what you already have and how much you're looking to spend, I definitely recommend that you assess what will make the biggest difference in the quality of your videos. For example, if you have a okay camera but you have a terrible microphone, you should probably buy a microphone. If you're happy with your current camera and your microphone, you should get a tripod. This will let you improve your angles drastically in videos, which is subtle, but important. Some of the items in this video were actually pretty cheap, like the light and the folding studio, but maybe for your type of videos, you don't need a folding studio. The main thing you should take away from this video though is, regardless of what kind of gear you're using, content is king. No camera is expensive enough or good enough to compensate for the lack of something good to share with your audience. And for that reason, I recommend you start shooting now. You might not have all the gear you want, but your first videos are going to be about finding your voice and figuring out what things not to do in your videos. I waited until my junior year of college to start making videos, and I'm always trying to figure out ways to make my content better. If I'd started my freshman year of college, I'd be miles ahead of where I am now, but you have to start somewhere. And finally, we're back to where we started this video. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. This one took a really long time to make, so I'd appreciate it. If you'd like to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe and let me know down in the comments what kind of other videos you'd want to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.